CQ. This is W9GFO. Is anybody out there? I'm not getting anything.
Small moves, Ellie. Small moves.
So it was such a simplified thing, like a raw material, that energy was transmitted into sound, and then conveyed to the human who can hear said sound.
I think that's probably one of the things too that made contact so cool when that came along. Mm-hmm. That's, oh man, you can hear that sound.
I have seen that movie so many times. Yep.
Somebody get a TV monitor. All right, pass the recording into the image processor.
You want the new data?
Yeah, the new frequency, the one we just recorded.
All right.
David, would you explain this to me, please?
One with the prime, there's another signal that looks like a TV transmission.
My sensors indicate we are no longer alone.
Oh my gosh.
I still read articles about that sound.
So
that was
good.
Captured.
Yeah.
I think they...
Oh, you mean the real sound?
Recently.
That was based on or whatever?
I saw an article that said something about they thought that it was coming from a galaxy, maybe something that
far away, a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. That has a star similar to ours. It's very, very close to the same size as our sun, with habitable, planets.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know how much of that data is speculation and how much of the theory has been proven mathematically. I don't prove mathematically that these are definitely habitable planets,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are ways that I don't know. I'm not a genius.
No. So this conversation made me think of both the wow signal and the Drake equation.
On the night of August 15th, 1977, a little after 11 p.m. local time, Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope picked up a signal lasting 72 seconds. Over 40 years later, this signal remains unexplained and represents the best candidate for evidence of an alien civilization that we have yet seen. This signal, should it ever repeat, would potentially be the greatest discovery in human history and would tell us that we are not alone.
The hell is the Drake equation? Okay. So, there's a guy named Frank Drake, still alive, who's a big supporter of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And he proposed a way to think about the question, is there intelligent life elsewhere in the galaxy? He has what's called an equation. It's not really an equation. It's an organizational tool for our ignorance. That's really what it is, all right? So what do you do? Here's how you start off, you say, how many stars in the galaxy? There's like several hundred billion. Right. Pick a number, 400 billion. Okay. What fraction of those stars have planets? Okay, it might be, maybe it's half. Okay, so you take half. All right. And what fraction of the stars with planets have planets that are in the zone around their star where you can sustain liquid water? Right. Because life on Earth, as we know it, requires liquid water. You want the planet too close, otherwise your water evaporates. Too far away, it freezes. Right, right, just in the right place. Goldilocks is happening. Okay. So now you ask. So each one of these is a term in the equation. Okay, it's a fraction. It's essentially a fraction. So you have a number of stars in the galaxy. What fraction of planets? What fraction of planets in the habitable zone, the Goldilocks zone? What fraction of those in the Goldilocks zone have life? What fraction of planets in the brown star in the Goldilocks zone have life that has achieved intelligence? Okay. What fraction of those around the planet in the Goldilocks zone has achieved intelligence, that has achieved technology? Gotcha. Those are the planets in the galaxy that we might have a conversation with using our radio telescopes.
And those are the planets in the galaxy
that will one day visit us and make us their pets. Yes, precisely.
You know, again, we're measuring with raw materials being our satellites and observatories, this raw data coming in.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then also applying that in other ways, like to soundscapes too, a lot of times.
Yeah.
They've captured even recordings of what like a black hole sounds like, which is pretty terrifying. It sounds exactly
sounds like a million people screaming at once.
What you would imagine, like a cacophony of energy falling into, you know, disappearing essentially, quote unquote.
I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened.
Actually, a million people screaming at once kind of is what it sounds like. That was another cool use of sound that way in pop culture, is Raised by Wolves. From what's the director that Ridley Scott that did Aliens and stuff? Remember Raised by Wolves with the androids?
That was such a good show.
The place? Yes. So I've been watching season 2. And it's really good still. In there.
Have I seen that yet?
I don't think so. It just came out not that long ago. It was a long time because of COVID in between seasons.
I need to see that. I just finished Dexter, like even the new premiere.
Yeah.
So I need something new to watch. So.
But the way that android, do you remember Mother? Mother and Father? Mm-hmm. And she would go into that. Go into that
angel
mode.
wing.
Yeah, angel of death mode.
Yes.
She would fly with her arms out, almost like a cross, and that bronze kind of thing would come over.
Yeah, I forgot. I need to go rewatch the first season. Yes.
Yeah. I used to dream. I used to have dreams just like that. Like I would fly just like that in my dreams.
That's funny because I would always fall. So I guess that's the balance, right?
And then I fall again. And then I fall again. And then I fall again. And then I fall again.
Yeah, exactly. But remember, when she would, one of her weapons was she would.
Weapon control.
Yes,
Scream,
like a banshee. That's how a banshee. Do you know what a banshee is? It's like a supernatural.
I know what it is in X-Men comics.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't, I guess, realize there was that character. But yeah, so a banshee is like a.
Most of us know the banshee as the wailing harbinger of death, but where does the legend originate from? In Celtic and Irish folklore, the banshee is a fairy whose scream is believed to be an omen of death. The banshee scream serves as a warning that the imminent death of a family member approaches. It is believed that each family had a banshee of their own. The banshee is a spirit that can appear in a host of different forms. The spirit is always female, but her age, clothing, and color of hair can differ drastically. The origins of the banshee can be traced all the way back to the 8th century, with the first tales of women singing songs of sorrow to mourn someone's death.
That just screeches this horrific. And you know, it's funny because a lot for ancient tales and legends about stuff like that, myths and stuff, a lot of those sounds are misunderstood sounds. Like, so for example, like a mountain lion or a puma has a very shrill, well, they have a wide variety of sounds, but they also have a very shrill scream when they're trying to defend or, you know, fight or whatever. And it sounds like a female dying. It literally does.
Yeah.
But even just a puma or mountain lion has, different sounds that sound not like an animal specifically. It sounds human-like. So I just wonder if some of those legends are based, initially around those types of sounds. But yes, that banshee sound is a very shrill. It's supposed to be theoretically high enough, I guess, pitch to like scramble your brains or whatever. Insides, liquefy. That's what I was trying to think of.
But remember the people would just basically explode.
Yeah,
when she did it.
Does anyone know the story of the 3 little pigs? The first little pig built a house out of straw. The second little pig built a house out of sticks. But the third little pig, he built a house out of stone. One day, a big bad wolf came along and said, little pig, let me in, or I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
If you think of an opera singer who can hit that high pitch, that can break crystal.
Yeah.
And it's because they can vibrate they can reach that level of vibration.
You match it, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This trick works due to a bit of science called resonance, and that's basically vibrations. Everything around us is vibrating. Now, the glass vibrates at a certain frequency, and that can be replicated in a sound wave.
Here, this is how it sounds. That's the natural frequency of the wine glass. If you can excite it with your voice at the same frequency, it will shatter.
Where, bang, the molecules can't hold together anymore. The vibrations are so great, they literally rip apart.
There was a clip that I layered in for our Office episode about synchronization, and it was from this company. I don't know if they're just online or what, but they're called Veritasium. I don't ever say it correctly, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
They say it a little bit different on the videos. But anyway, on that synchronization video, they were talking about these people on the bridges. When armies would march over it, they have to go not lockstep anymore.
Right.
Because it will break the bridges. And there was a famous bridge in like London or somewhere in England that they built.
That collapsed.
I don't know if it collapsed all the way or not. There's a story about that one too. I think this one maybe just it wobbled when people walked on it. It was a busy bridge, but it was because people naturally, because of synchronization, you kind of walk in step with people.
And also gravity and things are drawn to each other, and as they become synchronized in that energy,
just naturally.
Yeah, and the thing is, like that concept that you're talking about had to be factored into the engineering of bridges specifically, because if they didn't, then they would, collapse. And it basically what happens is that the energy, the synchronization and the subsequent energy would build up to enough to where it would basically like either collapse the bridge or make it vibrate enough to where it would just come apart, basically.
In the civil engineering literature, all designers know that you do not build a footbridge with a resonant frequency equal to the frequency of human walking. So we take about 2 strides per second, one with your left foot, one with your right foot. So everybody who takes civil engineering knows if people are going to walk on the bridge, it better not have a resonant frequency in the vertical direction of 2 hertz.
It all goes back to vibration every time. And I think it was about the vibration waves. If you're going like this, it's okay. If you're going opposite each other, the balance, right, of all things, the yin yang. But if you're both doing the same thing like this, then it gets
it's like
real.
Imagine a trampoline when that happens. You get the double bounce when you
exactly. And you're amplifying that every time.
Right. And so like that's the same concept, but with a material.
Too bad they didn't have you back then.
I know,
they were
right?
like, George, what do you think? You're the engineer on this? And you're like, no. What it was, they just double bounced on the bridge. Can't double bounce on a bridge.
They did the double bounce walk, so it just collapsed.
You used sound to traverse space and time, and you went back and did it.